Here's something that should bother you. A grown adult lying on a hospital floor, sobbing. No injury, no accident, no visible cause. Just a single chunk of mineral the size of a grain of rice, trying to move through a tube that is, frankly, not designed for it. And the wild part? This happens to roughly 1 in 10 people. Tonight, somewhere, someone is finding out what their pain threshold actually is. This video is about kidney stones. Specifically, why people who have given birth without an epidural and then later passed a kidney stone consistently rank the stone as worse. That is not a typo. That is the data. By the end of this, you're going to understand exactly how a speck of crystal turns into the worst pain of someone's life. I'm going to walk you through the whole journey, kidney to bathroom floor. And I'm going to hold one piece back until the end, because without the context, it won't land. Stay with me. Most people think kidney stones are a kidney problem. They are wrong. That is barely the problem at all. Here's what is actually happening. Inside your kidneys, urine is being filtered out of your blood, about 180 liters a day, condensed down to the liter or two you actually pee out. That urine is loaded with dissolved minerals: calcium, oxalate, uric acid, phosphate. Normally, these stay dissolved, but under the right conditions, dehydration, certain diets, certain genes, plain bad luck, they stop being dissolved. They start being a solid. A tiny crystal forms, then another sticks to it, then another. Over weeks or months, you are now growing a rock in an organ, while you sleep, while you go to work, while you have absolutely no idea. Some people walk around with stones in their kidneys for years and feel nothing. The kidney itself is surprisingly chill about being colonized by minerals, which is, medically speaking, both impressive and deeply concerning. So if the stone is just sitting there, why does it hurt? It doesn't. Not yet. The pain only starts when the stone decides to leave, just like your ex. And this is where the real horror begins. To get from the kidney to the outside world, the stone has to travel down a thin, muscular tube called the ureter. The ureter is about 30 centimeters long, and, this is the part that should make you genuinely uncomfortable, its inner diameter is around 3 to 4 millimeters, the width of a thin pencil lead. Now picture a 5-millimeter stone trying to fit through that. It does not. And here is where the body does something almost cruelly clever. The ureter doesn't just sit there. It has muscle. And the moment something gets stuck in it, those muscles do what muscles always do when something is in the way. They squeeze, harder and harder, in waves. Rhythmic, peristaltic, relentless waves of muscle trying to ram a sharp crystal through a tube that is anatomically incapable of accepting it. This is called renal colic, and it does not feel like a stomachache. It does not feel like a cramp. It feels like being stabbed from the inside, on a timer, by something that is actively trying to escape your body. But it gets worse. Because the ureter isn't a smooth ride. It has 3 natural choke points where it narrows even further. The first is right as it leaves the kidney. The second is where it passes over the major blood vessels in your pelvis. The third is right at the entrance to your bladder. Stones love to get stuck at all 3, and every time one does, your body restarts the squeezing cycle from 0. So why does it hurt in places that aren't even near your kidneys? This is the part nobody explains properly. The nerves that supply the ureter share spinal cord entry points with nerves from the groin, the inner thigh, and, in men, the testicle. Your brain cannot tell the difference. So when the ureter starts screaming, your brain interprets that scream as coming from everywhere downstream. People feel kidney stones in their back, their stomach, their genitals, and their thigh, all at once, often without realizing the actual stone is sitting in a tube nowhere near any of those places. It is, biologically speaking, your nervous system getting catfished. Now, remember when I said we'd come back to a comparison? Here it is. Think about what a pin costs at a yard sale. Maybe 20 pence? Now take that same pin, put it in a velvet box, put the box behind glass at Harrods, and have a man in white gloves hand it to you. Suddenly, it's 300 quid. Same pin, completely different context. Pain works the same way. The thing is never just the thing. The context around it decides how it feels. And this is where it snaps directly back to kidney stones, because this is the piece I held back at the start. When a woman gives birth naturally, her body has spent 9 months preparing for the event. There is a massive surge of oxytocin, a hormone that does not just trigger contractions, it actively dampens pain perception. There is a parallel surge of endorphins, the body's own internal opioids, hitting levels you cannot reach any other way without a prescription. There is, on top of all of that, the psychological context. You know what is happening. You know roughly how long it will take. You know what's at the end of it. Your body is, in every possible way, helping you. A kidney stone gets none of this. There is no hormonal preparation. There is no oxytocin. There is no endorphin flood. There is no 9-month ramp up. There is no baby at the end. There is just you, on a Tuesday afternoon, suddenly discovering that a structure inside your body is at war with another structure inside your body, and you are the battlefield. Your body is not helping you. Your body is the thing doing this to you. That is why people who have experienced both rank the stone as worse. It is not because the raw pain signal is stronger. It is because the same pain, without the biological cushion, is a completely different experience. Same pin, different box. But before any of that, someone has to actually find the thing. And you can't exactly see through a person, so doctors reach for imaging. The gold standard is a CT-KUB, a quick, no-dye scan of your kidneys, ureters, and bladder that spots the stone, measures it, and pinpoints exactly where it's wedged. If they want to skip the radiation, say in pregnancy, an ultrasound does the job, just with a little less detail. And there's almost always a urine test too, mostly to confirm the blood you'd probably already noticed. So how does it end? Most stones, if they are small enough, eventually win the wrestling match with your ureter and arrive in the bladder. From there, the trip out is mercifully short and comparatively boring. The urethra is wider than the ureter, and the worst part is over by the time you reach the bathroom. If the stone is too big, the options get less fun. Doctors can hit it with focused shock waves from outside the body to shatter it into smaller pieces, which sounds futuristic until you remember they are, essentially, breaking rocks inside you. They can pass a thin scope up through the urethra, find the stone, and laser it apart in person. Or, in the worst cases, they can go in surgically. Each of these is, somehow, simultaneously a relief and a fresh new problem. The one piece of good news in all of this, and yes, there is one, is that kidney stones are largely preventable. Drink more water than you think you need. Watch the sodium. Watch the oxalate-heavy foods if you're already prone. Most people who pass one stone will, statistically, meet another one within 10 years. But hydration alone cuts that risk roughly in half. So the takeaway is simple. Your kidneys are quietly building, every day, a piece of geology that may one day try to escape via the most painful route your nervous system can offer. Drink your water. If you've had one, and somehow survived it, tell me in the comments where on the scale you'd rank it. I genuinely want to know.